The engine's guttural roar cut through the neon haze of the Las Vegas Strip like a predator's warning growl. Jax, all 6'4" of leather-clad menace, loomed over the small crowd, his tattooed fist clenched around Steve Harvey's collar. The comedian's signature grin had vanished, replaced by a flicker of steel in his eyes, eyes that had stared down hecklers from comedy clubs to talk show stages. "You think you're funny now?" Jax snarled, breath hot with cheap whiskey, shoving Steve back against the bike's chrome fender. Onlookers froze, phones half raised, the air thick with that electric pause before chaos erupts. Steve straightened, dusting his suit jacket with deliberate calm, but Jax wasn't done. He'd spotted the host earlier that night, strutting out of a casino like he owned the world. Fame grated on Jax like sand in a carburetor, reminded him too much of his own scraped-together life, piecing Harleys from junkyards while suits like Harvey cashed million-dollar checks. "All talk, no spine?" Jax spat, circling closer, the biker's boots thudding against the pavement. Steve's entourage hovered at the edges, whispering, but no one moved. Jax's crew, 3 rough-edged riders with vests patched in rival club colors, flanked him, their shadows stretching long under the streetlights. The tension coiled tighter, a spring ready to snap. What Jax didn't know was how deep that shove would echo, rippling through lives neither man could predict. If this raw edge has you leaning in, smash that subscribe button right now, share this story with someone who needs a wake-up call, and drop a comment below. Where are you watching from tonight? Jax released the fabric with a flick, watching Steve stumble but catch himself. No apologies came. Instead, Harvey locked eyes, voice low and measured. "Brother, you got fire. But fire without direction just burns you out." Jax laughed, a bark that echoed off the casino walls, but inside, something twisted, a memory of his old man, same build, same rage, vanishing one dawn without a word. He revved the throttle, peeling out in a screech of tires, leaving Steve rubbing his neck amid the dispersing crowd. Back at the motel, Jax paced the dim room, the neon sign outside buzzing like a swarm. His knuckles throbbed, not from the shove but from the gnawing doubt. Why target a stranger? Harvey's face stuck, that unflinching gaze piercing the armor Jax had welded on over years of bar fights and dead-end jobs. Dawn broke harsh over the desert highway, Jax blasting south toward Reno, chasing a custom parts deal to drown the noise in his head. His phone buzzed, grainy video of last night's clash already viral, comments piling up. "Biker punk versus legend, who wins?" He slammed the tank, weaving through semis, the wind whipping regrets into fury. By noon, Reno's outskirts loomed, dusty lots and dive bars. The parts guy, a grizzled vet named Rico, met him at the warehouse. "Heard you made headlines, Jax. Messing with Harvey? Ballsy, stupid, or both?" Jax grunted, haggling over pistons, but Rico slid him a flyer mid-deal. "Steve's doing a pop-up gig here tonight, charity thing for vets." "You going?" Jax crumpled it, tossing it into the desert scrub. But that night, the pull dragged him to the venue, a rundown theater packed with locals, laughter spilling out like smoke. He slunk in back, cap low, nursing a soda in the shadows. Harvey took the stage, suit sharp as ever, owning the mic. "Y'all know life's about those moments that test you," Steve said, pausing as the crowd chuckled. Then quieter. "Last night some brother tested me. Didn't swing back." "Why? 'Cause I see mirrors in strangers." Jax shifted, gut clenching. Harvey scanned the room, eyes landing impossibly on him. "That fire, it can light paths, not just bridges." The set ended, applause thundering. Jax bolted for the alley, heart pounding like a busted valve. But Harvey was there, waiting, 2 security guys at a distance. "You followed," Steve said. "No accusation, just fact." Jax's fists balled. "Needed to see if you'd run your mouth." Harvey nodded. "Fair." "But you? What's chasing you?" The question hung, raw. Jax spat pavement gravel. "Life. Lost my pops young. Clubs chew you up. Thought you had it easy. Steve leaned against the wall, arms crossed. Easy? Buried dreams before breakfast most days. But I choose direction. Silence stretched, broken only by distant traffic. Jax's crew texted, "Where was he?" But he ignored it. "What now?" he muttered. Harvey pulled a card from his pocket. "Gig in Austin next month. Vets build a bike event. Help me host. Show that fire works for something." Jax stared, the offer landing like a wrench to the chest. Walk away or step in. He pocketed the card, nodding once. Maybe. Weeks blurred into highways. Jax ditched the crew's next run, citing family, truth in its way. Austin sweltered, the event lot alive with welders, sparks and laughter. He arrived early, sleeves rolled, tools in hand. Harvey spotted him on stage setup. "Knew you'd show," Jax shrugged. Curiosity. They worked side by side. Jax demoing chopper mods to wide-eyed kids and vets, his gravel voice steadying as Harvey cracked jokes. Tension simmered. Not gone, but channeled. A young vet approached Jax later, eyes hollow. "Heard your story. Mine's worse." Jax paused, then talked. Real talk. No bluster about his old man's shadow, the endless ride to outrun it. Word spread. Videos hit feeds. Biker who roughed up Harvey now builds dreams with him. Jax's phone lit up, not hate but pings from old contacts, questioning, probing. He ignored most, but one stuck. A message from Rico. "Proud man, changing lanes?" Jax revved his bike that night, alone under stars, the card in his vest await. Shocking? Yeah, to his crew, who iced him out, to the online mob expecting round two, even to himself. Months later, Vegas again. Jax rolled up to the same strip, but this time for Harvey's show, backstage pass clipped. Steve slapped his shoulder, pre-taping. "Brother, you shocked 'em all, me too." Jax smirked. "Fire needs direction." The crowd roared as they took stage together, Jax's story woven in, no punches, just truth. Tension? It lingered, psychological fuel pushing both forward. If this twist has you gripped, subscribe for the full ride, share with your crew, and comment, what shocked you most? Jax rode out post-show, wind cleaner now. Paths crossed once in rage, now they paralleled, real, hard-won, no fairy tales. Just two men, mirrors cracked but holding. Jax rode out post-show, wind cleaner now. Paths crossed once in rage, now they paralleled, real, hard-won, no fairy tales. Just two men, mirrors cracked but holding didn't mean fixed. Jax throttled down on the empty highway, leather creaking against the seat. Steve's words echoed in his helmet. "Forgiveness ain't free. It's a debt you pay every day." Jax gripped tighter. He'd paid some, not all. Flashback hit like gravel under tires. 20 years back, Cleveland streets gritty with rust and regret. Jax, then Jackson Razor Hale, led the Iron Vipers, bunch of grease-stained outcasts riding Harleys like borrowed time. Steve Harvey, pre-fame, hustling odd jobs, insurance gigs, comedy open mics in dives that smelled of stale beer and broken dreams. They crossed at a traffic light. Steve's beat-up Chevy stalled. Jax, revved up from a bar fight, saw easy prey. Horn blared. Jax leaned out. "Move it, clown, or we'll make you." Steve waved, sorry, face tight. But Jax didn't see apology, saw weakness. He and the Vipers circled, engines roaring judgment. Kicked the Chevy's fender, laughed as Steve sat frozen. "Stay in your lane, funny man." They peeled off, leaving dents and a man questioning his path. Steve never reported it, kept grinding. Rose. Jax sank deeper. Raids gone wrong, brothers locked up, his own stretch in county for reckless assembly. Out at 35, club fractured. He fixed bikes in a back alley shop, ghosts whispering. Then the invite. Steve's team tracked him via some viral clip. Jax restoring a vintage chopper for a vet, no fanfare. "He wants to talk," the producer said. Jax laughed. "Trap? Nah." Curiosity burned hotter. Back to now. Jax pulled into his garage, fluorescent buzz harsh. Tools scattered like old regrets. He killed the engine. Silence pressed. Phone buzzed. Voicemail from an unknown. Played it. "Jax, Steve here. That ride solid, but we ain't done. Meet me tomorrow. Same spot. Got a proposition." Click. Proposition. Jax's gut twisted. What now? Extortion. Public shaming. He paced, boots echoing, sleep evaded. Dawn broke grey, drove back to the studio lot. Security waved him through. No hassle this time. Steve waited by a black SUV, suit crisp, eyes sharper. "Climb in!" They rolled toward the lakefront, windows down, city hum fading. Steve broke quiet first. "You think that was it? One chat, handshake done?" Jax shrugged. "Figured." "Nope." Steve's voice steady, probing. "You owe more than sorry. I want you on the show. Regular biker wisdom, real talk. Kids watching, lost like we were. Show 'em paths fork, but you choose." Jax barked a laugh. "Me? TV? I'm the guy who dented your ride." "Exactly." Steve leaned in. "Authentic. No polish. Viewers smell fake. You teach grit, I teach grace. Together, impact." Tension coiled. Jax's fists clenched. This wasn't redemption handed over. It was exposure. His scars on display. Viper's remnants might ride. Old enemies resurface. "What's the catch?" Steve's gaze unflinching. "No catch. Risk. Yours and mine. I get egg on face if you flake. You get dragged into light." They parked overlooking choppy water. Waves slapped concrete. Jax stared out. Memories surged. His own dad gone early, leaving a kid raging on pedals before engines. First bike at 16, stolen thrill. Vipers filled the void. Now, void stared back. "Fine," Jax muttered. "One shot." Steve nodded. "That's all it takes." First appearance loomed. Prep was brutal, no scripts, just Jax in a green room, mirror mocking tattoos and grey stubble. Producer coached, "Be you, raw." Steve pre-taped intro. "This man tested me once. Now, he's family." Live feed. Lights hot. Jax on couch, Steve across. Cameras rolled. "Jax, tell him," Steve prompted. "Lowest point?" Jax swallowed. Short breaths. "Jail cell. Alone. Realized I built walls, not brothers. Rage blinded. Cost everything." Audience leaned in. No boos. Nods. A caller, teen voice, shaky. "My crew's pressuring rides I ain't ready for. Feels like fire closing in." Jax leaned to Mike. "Fire burns if you chase it. Step back, find your throttle." Mine was fixing bikes, hands steady, mind clear. "Yours?" Kid paused. "Maybe woodwork, Dad's tools." Steve grinned. "Their path?" Claps swelled. Jax exhaled. Not pity, respect. Off-air, more calls piled, invites, brands for custom gear. Viper's exes texted wary thumbs up, but shadows lingered. One night bar run-in, ex-brother buzzed, sneered. "Selling out for suit?" Jax stood tall. "Evolving, try it." Fist fight brewed. Jax walked. Steve texted later. "Heard. Proud." Months blurred. Jax's segment trended. Biker and brain, duos unpacking life's detours. Ratings spiked. Fan mail, letters from riders quitting gangs, kids ditching streets, but cracks showed. Jax's shop overflowed, balance tipped. Sleepless again, Steve noticed. Pulled him aside post-taping. "Burning out?" Jax nodded. "Spotlight's heavy." "Step weight," Steve said. "Launch your own thing. Foundation? Nah. Workshop. Mentor troubled gearheads. I co-sign." Jax froze. Personal. Difficult. His turf. Risky. Life is. Jax built it. Hale's Haven. No frills garage, teaching welds and wisdom. First class, 5 wary teens, engines idling. Jax demoed. Machine brakes, fixed methodically, life same. One kid, echoes of young Jax, gripped wrench wrong. Jax guided. Easy. Control, not crush. Progress slow, relapses. A dropout stole tools. Jax chased, not with fists, with words at the kid's door. Tools gone. Lesson stays. Return? Kid did. Day later. Steve visited once, watched from corner. "Mirrors, huh?" Jax wiped sweat. "Yeah." Hours. Word spread. Media dubbed it the Bullies' pivot. Clickbait gold, but real? Jax's ledger balanced. Debts paid in sweat, not tears. 1 year on, full circle. Steve's gala. Jax suited up. Awkward fit. Stage shared. Steve. This man shocked us. From Clash to Catalyst. Crowd roared. Jax spoke short. Paths parallel now, grateful. Post-gala, lot empty. They lingered. Steve. Debt cleared? Jax eyed horizon. Never fully, but lighter. Motorcycle purred to life. Jax rode into night, wind pure. No rage, purpose. Years later, whispers of legacy. Jax's workshop expanded. Steve's empire nodded approval. 2 men, forged in friction, enduring. Hey, if this gripped you, hit subscribe, share with a rider who needs it, and comment where you're watching from. What path are you forging? Jax never looked back, forward only, real, hard won. Jax gripped the handlebars tighter, the vibration humming through his calloused palms like a second heartbeat. Miles of blacktop unspooled ahead, cutting through the Ohio heartland where it all began. Cleveland's skyline loomed distant, a jagged promise. He hadn't set foot there in 20 years, not since the night he left Steve Harvey crumpled in that alley behind the comedy club. The wind whipped at his cooter, frayed patches fluttering like old war flags. Jax's mind replayed it in flashes. Young Steve, scrawny kid with big dreams and bigger mouth, trying out jokes at open mics. Jax and his crew, the Iron Vipers, ruled those streets. They spotted weakness like sharks smell chum. Funny boy, Jax had sneered that night, shoving Steve against the brick wall. The others laughed, circling. Steve's eyes burned, but he didn't break. Just stared back, whispering something about rising above. Jax laughed harder, pushed, left him there, figuring the kid would scatter. But Steve didn't scatter, he climbed. TV screens everywhere now. Family Feud king. Grinning that same defiant grin. Jax saw it one night in a dive bar, channel surfing between beers. The remote froze. Steve's voice boomed. Life's about choices, folks. You choose your path. Jax's gut twisted. That alley, that shove, his choice. He'd tried burying it, rides across state lines, jobs welding frames for custom hogs, women who came and went. But the mirror lied less every morning, wrinkles mapping regrets. A daughter now, 8 years old, asking why Daddy's eyes looked sad. Forward only, he'd tell her, but the past rode shotgun. The exit ramp spat him into the city, familiar decay, boarded shops, murals of steel mills long shuttered. Jax parked the fat boy outside the studio, engine ticking cool. Security eyed him, leather, beard, ink snaking up his neck. "Tickets?" one grunted. "No ticket," Jax said, voice gravel. "Steve Harvey, tell him Jax is here from the Vipers, alley nights." The guard blinked, radio crackled, minutes stretched. Jax stood unmoving, boots planted, sweat beaded under his bandana despite the chill wind off Lake Erie. Footsteps. Steve emerged from a side door, flanked by 2 suits. Older now, polished suit hugging a frame that carried authority, but those eyes, same fire. "Jax," Steve said flat, no warmth. "Heard you were still kicking." "Need a minute. Private." Steve scanned him. The crew shifted. 5. Inside. No games. They walked corridors buzzing with crew. Laughter from the set echoed. Steve led to a green room, shut the door. Jax towered, but Steve filled the space. "What? Come to gloat? Saw my face on billboards?" Jax pulled a chair, sat heavy. "Saw you rise, from nothing, after what I did." Silence thickened. Steve crossed arms. "You and your pack, thought you owned the night, broke a rib that time. Dreams too, almost, but I rebuilt. What's your angle now?" Jax unzipped his vest, pulled out a faded photo. Him and Steve, kids maybe 12, grinning at a county fair. "Before the Vipers, before the turn. Found this cleaning out Mum's attic. We were boys together, neighborhood scrappers. I chose wrong, lost my way. Crew life, fights, lost everything. Wife, shop. Now it's just me and the road." Steve took the photo, fingers traced edges. Forgot this. You were the tough one. Protected me from bigger bullies. Then you became one. Twisted, Jax admitted. Throat tight. Saw you on TV, talking paths. Mine forked bad. Daughter's asking questions I can't answer. Need to fix it. Public. Steve's brow furrowed. Public. My show's live tomorrow. Million eyes. Jax nodded. That's the point. Tell 'em. All of it. The alley. The shove. How you stood. Shocked me then. Shocks me now. Beg forgiveness. On air. No script. Steve paced. Window overlooked the lot. Jax's bike gleaming. Why? Closure? Fame grab? Truth, Jax said. Short. Sharp. Can't undo but own it. Show her. My girl. Men can turn. Hard turn. No easy outs. Steve stopped. Stared. Clock ticked. Risky. Audience loves inspiration. Hates bullies. You sure? Road's long. This fork, take it. Next night. Studio lights blazed. Jax in the wings. Heart pounding like a revved twin cam. Steve on stage, crowd roaring, monologue flew, jabs at contestants, life zingers. Then pause, spotlights shifted. Folks, Steve said, voice dropping, got a guest tonight, not planned, from my past, Jax. Crowd murmured. Jax strode out, boots thudding, no mic needed, presence boomed, gasps rippled. Tattoos peeked from rolled sleeves. Steve handed him the mic. 20 years ago. Jax started steady. I was lost, ran with a crew, targeted a kid with jokes. Steve, alley behind a club, pushed him down, hard, thought it made me strong. Audience hushed, phones lifted. Steve watched, unreadable. But he rose, built empires. Me, crashed, lost it all. Road taught me, forward means facing back. Here for amends, public. Steve, forgive or not? Your call. Silence crashed. Then Steve stepped close. Hand on Jax's shoulder, firm. Boy stood tall that night. Eyes said more than fists, forgiven, but earn it daily. Crowd erupted. Cheers mixed with stunned whispers. Hugs. Cameras flashed. Backstage, Steve pulled Jax aside. That photo? Keep it. Ride safe. Jax nodded, no tears, just weightlifting mile by mile. Dawn broke as he fired up the fat boy. Cleveland faded in the mirrors. Daughter waited in Pittsburgh. A new shop gig lined up. Welding futures, not breaking them. Steve's words echoed choices. The highway called. Jax twisted throttle. Wind roared freedom. Hey, if this tale revved your engine, smash subscribe, share it with a friend chasing their path. Drop a comment. What's the hardest turn you've made? Where you riding from today? Jax rode on, shocking the world, one honest mile at a time.